In this video, we're going to get started on installing the mechanism for the wipers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the motor and mechanism for the actual windscreen wipers. So that section there is obviously the motor. They're the two terminals. I mentioned in one of the previous videos that this motor does not have the auto park. Whether or not it's just that parts are missing or it's an earlier version and it never did. So that's been tested, that works, and connected to the terminals on the car, it works as well. The rest of this mechanism is where the windscreen wipers actually attach to. So they will attach to these parts on the ends here. So each end there. And that sort of screws into the, just below where the windscreen comes out. There are some parts that go on the actual outside, so that gets inserted. These go on the outside of the vehicle. That's a ring that sort of goes there, and then there's a lock nut or a nut that just goes on top, and then the actual wiper arm fixes onto that point here. One thing that these have, they have a rubber washer behind them, but obviously the existing rubber washer, it's a bit perished, it's not usable. I've got this kit of plumbing washers, and just by coincidence there's some in there that actually are a perfect fit. They're just sort of just to help it sit in position. They're not, well, depending on how you got your Moke set up, it's an open vehicle anyway, so if you've got it all covered up, you may not want moisture getting through there. But those washers will, ideally you should use the rubber ones, but they fit okay. Alright, let's talk actual windscreen wipers. I might sort of not worry about this until I actually get the windscreen in and get that sorted. But I've purchased a few different parts. I believe these are the original, or what were on the vehicle. Whether or not they're the correct ones, I do not know. Those arms are a bit longer than these ones here, which I purchased, which did specifically say they were for a Moke, but they are a lot shorter, so I don't know if that's going to be good or not good. And these wipers here, these ones aren't the actual flat blade ones. They are sort of curved, but again, they did say that these were for Mokes, 11 inch, they're longer for Mokes. Whether or not that supplier has given me the wrong parts. They weren't actually from Mini Spares. They import their goods from Mini Spares and then resell them. But as long as it gets working, I don't really mind. So I'll leave all that for now. The other thing is the washer bottle. Okay, so here's all the washer bottle parts. So this is the original washer bottle, but obviously you can see it's been damaged here. That could possibly be repaired, plastic welding, but then I don't have the lid for that. That's the actual original holder for the bottle. I've purchased this kit here. So Pro Kit windscreen washer bottle kit. I believe it's they say on here for Ford, so, but that's just the style of the bottle. It's just a coincidence that it's a, because like these are universal bottles, but they fit their whatever application. So that's the replacement bottle. So apparently it's meant to sort of fit in that original fitting. I'll try and squeeze that in there and just see how it fits. But it does come with these brackets. Obviously you don't want to use them. I'd want to use the original one. Comes with some hose. This is, those of you that do stuff with fish tanks, silicone type hose, that's sort of what it feels like. It's a bit more flexible than like that traditional plastic hose. And then there's all these other pieces, buttons, wiring. We may not actually need to use any of those. So in the actual vehicle, you'll notice that there is a hole right there. That hole there is what the top of this bracket that holds the bottle screws into. So that goes underneath there, and then there's a nut and bolt that holds it on, and there's also a corresponding hole in the body that screws into. So that's how it attaches to the vehicle. Okay, so this is what it looks like fitted to that original bracket. It's not a perfect fit. The bottle's slightly wider than the original, but it does go on there. Needed to use the vice grips to sort of help get it on, but it does sort of fit. So I might actually just get this mounted in the vehicle. Okay, so that's attached now. What I want to do is just add some water, and we'll just see what happens. I flick the switch and the motor does activate. So we'll fill it up to make sure there's no leaks. Okay. All right, let's see what happens. All right, that works. The polarity on there might not make any difference, so. Alright, so I do have the jets installed on the car at the moment, but I won't connect up that hose just yet because it's going to spray and make a mess on the vehicle. So we'll leave that for now, and we'll get started on the motor. One thing with the motor, I believe obviously must be these two holes that the mirrors use, because they're on the other side as well. So the motor goes in there, so I'm going to put the bolts in, but obviously they come out when you install the mirrors. Okay, so let's have a play and just see how that actually works. It's very noisy, but is it likely going to be raining while I drive the Moke? Okay. Okay, so continuing on from where we left off, I've got the hose threaded through here. I've decided to use this hole here where the brake pipe goes in. I've noticed a lot of photos where it seems to be there. Some people seem to just bring it straight through. Actually, it might have been here where the speedo cable goes. It makes more sense to put it here. So that's what I've done for now. And then on the other side, I've installed the passenger side dash piece. I'm going to do the one on this side here, but I'll just show you where I have put the hose. So obviously the hose comes in at this point here. My intention is that the pipe will just run underneath the dashboard panel. It goes behind the speedo and then comes out up the top here. So there's plenty of length in it still. So I've got it here. I've just used a bit of masking tape just to keep it in that position so it doesn't interfere with this bar, but that particular bar doesn't really get in the way anyway. So there's heaps of room there anyway for it. So that's how I will be doing that part. I just need to work out how to, I'll sort out these wires once I there's another cover piece that goes on top. But I can do the tray first. I'll fix up this cable and put the tray in. Okay, so that's all the dash panels all assembled now. I've tightened up the steering wheel as well. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching my videos.